Good evening, everyone. Today I've got a discovery set from Serge Lutens that I'll be going through, just seeing what the experience is like, what the scents are like, if any are worthy of testing any further, or even maybe buying a full bottle. Let's see how it goes. It is called the Collection Noir. They made this in 2022. Now, this is not my first experience with Serge Lutens. I have tested two of the most popular ones, Ambre Sultan and Chergui, and I did enjoy both to a varying degree, but haven't got my hands on bottles at the moment. Serge Lutens is a niche brand from France. It is quite well known in the Fragcom, especially in the past. It was very popular. Nowadays, not that popular. Amber Sultan is definitely the most famous of them all, and that is in this discovery set. Chergui is also very popular, and that's more of a hay tobacco kind of scent. Unfortunately, that's not in this discovery set, but there's a few in there that are quite popular with the brand. So we'll give it a go and see how we get on. We will go through the packaging presentation and what the experience is like. We will then sample each of these fragrances on paper strip, simply because there's too many of them really to sample on skin. I'll let you know my first impression really quickly. And then at the end, we'll talk about the highlights and maybe sample one or two on skin to see if they're any different. So when it comes to the Serge Lutens Discovery Set, it's 7 perfumes in here in 4 milliliter vials. It retails for £65. Now, when it comes to the presentation, it comes in this nice box. This is obviously a bit worn down because I did buy it used, but very barely used, to be fair. There is no paperwork. It seems like there isn't any, which is a bit of a shame because on the back, all it says is the names of the perfumes in order, the ingredients, which, let's be honest, no one really cares about the ingredients really. It is quite a good looking product. They come in these cute 4ml vials. It looks like it holds a lot more than 4ml because they're quite big and quite long, but it says on the back that they are 4ml each. It does a nice bit of cardboard. Now, my only issue with it is they're quite difficult to get out. Whilst that can be good design because it's not going to fall and break in transit, you have to really dig your hands in there. Then they come in these cute little vials. Now, my issue with vials is that obviously it's a splash and it's not a, atomizer presentation, which I much prefer. Now, I know that Serge Lutens perfumes come in a splash with an additional atomizer as an option. So they're clearly designed with a splash in mind, and the splash is the default, and they give you this atomizer in case if you fancy it. So in this instance, I can't really complain too much because this is how they want you to experience the scent, and clearly it is their preferred mode of presentation and delivery of their perfumes. We'll dab some of it onto the test strip and see how we get on. So this will be quite interesting because I've never used a splash on a test strip. I don't know how it will go. I guess we will explore together. I will be sampling these in the order of that they've presented them in. I'm not sure if there's any wisdom behind that, but I guess we'll find out. Now, it is quite a shame that they haven't really given us any information except the ingredients and the names. I'm a little bit anxious for anything really because I have nothing to go off really except the names in terms of how these will smell. But I guess that's quite fun. So the first vial is nice and purple, and it is La Fille de Berlin. Let's give it a go. Give it a good shake. So it's at the top. Okay. I'm not sure how this will go, but here goes nothing. I guess we'll just put it upside down on this paper and hopefully not spill everywhere. Okay, we've got a little purple mark. Maybe we'll do another. I mean, it's really not ideal, I guess, but okay, that's definitely got a fair bit on there. We'll give it a smell. Le Fille de Berlin. I don't know what fille means in French. Okay, so it smells very floral. It's quite sweet as well. It's beautiful. It's quite feminine, in my opinion. The florals are quite realistic, but also there is a sweet kind of component, like a desserty kind of component. It smells like a floral lollipop. What's Le Fille? Who knows? This is very nice, actually. It's very French in the way it's made, as in it's quite elegant and well blended. It comes across as just one wave of smell. it doesn't really offend you or jump off the paper. So if I smell this in the shop, I think this is a nice feminine scent. I'd maybe get my wife to sample it and see how she gets on. There's something a bit like, the juice color is quite good. It's like something like cherry-like about it. And something very floral. I can't really name any of the florals, but it's a sweet, fruity floral scent. It's a lot better than the current feminine sweet floral scents because they tend to go really sweet, really synthetic, and really musky. So yeah, that's the opening for Le Fil de Berlin. We will revisit and see what the dried on paper is at the end of the video. I'd give this a 7 out of 10. It's very feminine, not for me. Can't really see myself wearing this, but definitely would offer this to my wife. Let's move on. So the second sample we have is Ambre Sultan. You can't really read this. So like I said, I've worn this twice. I smelt it numerous times in the past. It's been a while, to be honest, at least 6-7 months since I last smelt this one, but we'll give it a go and see if my opinion today changes. So Ambre Sultan, I think the juice color and the name, obviously, Amber and Sultan, really tells you all you need to know. It's going to be an Oriental amber fragrance. And it really does smell like the juice color and the name. I'll be honest with you, on my skin, I've never sampled this on paper. On my skin, when I wear it, it's less sweet and more green and culinary. It's an absolutely sensational scent, and it would be up there. The only reason I didn't get it is that I didn't get on well with that bay leaf. Maybe I should give it another shot. So I'm sure you know about Ambre Sultan, but if I was to describe it to you, I'd say it's a quintessential amber with a slight, just a hint of vanillic sweetness in the back, but it's mainly a labdanum. It's quite labdanum heavy, but it doesn't go too animalic or too leathery because all the other amber, of course, that they have, it's a perfect amber. But this one has a bit of a herbal green touch kind of thing. Like I said earlier, I preferred L'air du Désert Marocain. That was quite spicy, but it's more dry spicy. This one is like more herbaceous. It's obviously very beautiful. This is a 9 out of 10 off the bat. And it would be the most perfect amber for me if it was that herbaceous kind of green touch. It takes me back to my childhood when I remember my mum would make like a soup, like a broth, and would get this black bag of bay leaf, and they're really old and dusty. She bought them from the market. This is in Cairo, and when you open that bag, there's a really strong bay leaf scent, and it takes me there. Now that's a very personal memory of mine, and it makes it less wearable because it just reminds me of food, or not even the finished product of food, the cooking process of food. The fun is in the eating, right? So you will probably disagree and you might find this amazing. I highly recommend this. So I'd give this one a 9 out of 10. Tempted to wear this on skin at the end of the vid, but that would be quite a cop-out. Let's see what the other scents have to say. Now for the third perfume is in this kind of brown juice, and it is called Santal Majuscule. So I'm assuming that means majestic sandalwood. Don't quote me on that. Let's give it a go. Right, there's enough on there, I think. Let's close this before it gets everywhere. Now, sandalwood, I have high hopes for this one because one of my favorite scents of all times is Chanel Egoiste, which is an amazing sandalwood fragrance. So let's see how Serge Lutens does it on a niche level. Right. There is a really wonderful sandalwood here. There's like a sharp floral. There's something almost chocolatey about it. Like I'm smelling the sandalwood in the background, but there's something like chocolatey, but it's definitely not a gourmand because there's something really sharp and acidic, like almost vinegary. That's quite off-putting actually. Is it rose? Yeah, the roses. I think there's rose in here. Yeah, I think there's. Yeah, I think there's rose in here. So rose, sandalwood, and something sweet and chocolatey gourmandy. I'm not sure I like the combination of rose and sandalwood. It smells very elegant, smells very high quality. It's just not very complex. It smells quite simple, like I can only smell three things. It's quite beautiful. I can't really see myself wearing this. There's something really sharp about it, and I think it's rose. It smells like vinegary, and sometimes I get that. Like, for example, there's an Admirable Rose de Jamal that I really, on paper, was going to be my favorite rose scent of all times, but the times I've sampled it, it's gave me a dill pickle kind of vibe. And I'm getting that. This is that kind of rose that has a pickly, vinegary kind of vibe. I know some people have that experience. Unfortunately, I'm one of those. And it's a real shame because I think this, I bet you this is popular. I'd give this one an 8 out of 10. I'm not sure if it's for me though because of that kind of acidic rose. Then let's move on. Next up, we have this orange juice, and it is Fleur d'Orange. I'm assuming this is orange blossom. My experience with orange blossom, I really like the orange blossom in Beach Man by Amouage. I liked an orange Sirocco by Les Animaux, but I'm not that crazy about that scent. So let's see how Serge Lutens does it. I have to say, this is the most annoying sample set I've ever done, simply because of this dab action. It's really stylish, don't get me wrong. It looks great. You get these vials of 4 mils. Looks grand, but come on. So, Fleurs d'Orange, let's see how it goes. Oh yeah, this is good. This is amazing. It's definitely orange blossom, but I'm getting a jasmine-y thing, but it's not like a skanky jasmine. Sometimes jasmine becomes really animalic to my nose. This is like a freshly picked jasmine. Now I'm from Egypt and in Cairo growing up. We produce a lot of jasmine. People are just selling jasmine out on the streets, on the Nile. And it smells exactly like this. This is taking me back to my childhood. I wouldn't wear it because I feel like it's a very particular scent to me. It has a bit of a kind of washing machine detergent vibe. I think is quite a popular kind of this combination orange blossom jasmine, maybe in one I've had in the past, but it smells exactly. They make these jasmine kind of bracelets or necklaces. Necklaces actually, not bracelets, and you buy them and you put them on and it smells amazing. Just a natural perfume of a jasmine, and this smells so damn natural. Orange blossom and jasmine, they're quite similar. Maybe this has no jasmine in it. I'm really intrigued. I want to look it up, but I won't because this is just off the cuff. We'll look it up at the end. It does have that citrusy, orangey feel, but it's very floral. It's very beautiful. I can't see myself wearing this because I do think it's quite feminine, like the first one, La Fille de Berlin. But I would definitely be interested for my wife to sample this. I'd give it the same rating, 7 out of 10. It doesn't smell like a perfume to me. It smells like a bouquet of flowers. Do you see what I mean? It reminds me of like Carnal Flower by Frederick Malle. It's probably completely different. It's different florals, but you know how that one is like just a bomb, a total beast. Like you shoved your face in a bouquet of tuberose. This is similar. I wonder what's in the base. Like, how will this survive in a dry down? I'm quite intrigued because all I'm getting is just this flower bomb. It smells quite wet. It's not dry at all. It's like you've just flowers. It's not a bouquet. It's like flowers on a bush that have just been watered. It's not raining. It's a beautiful sunny day. But whoever's looking after them has just watered them and they're really wet and moist. Yeah, this is amazing. This is 7 out of 10. I can smell this all day, so let's move on. Next up, we have this kind of grayish, yeah, browny juice called Nuit, cellophane. I don't know what that means, man. Nuit is night of the cellophane. Sounds bizarre. What do they mean by that? I don't know French, so I'm not even going to try and assume, but sounds really unusual. Let's give it a go. So, Nuit de cellophane, I'm assuming. What the hell am I smelling? I have no clue. It has that sharp, acidic thing. Maybe it's the same rose as before in Santal Majuscule. Is there like an incensey thing in the back? It smells quite sweet. It's very zingy. It's very vibrant. It's very feminine. Again, I am confused by this one. It's sweet. It's musky. More musky than La Fille du Berlin. This one is all over the place. La Fille de Berlin feels like it was focusing on certain aspects, like certain florals. This one is like just everything. They just threw everything in there. It's very fruity, very sweet. This is like maybe what Xerjoff were trying to emulate in, was it Erba Pura? But this is a bit more mature. It's difficult to say something mature when it's so floral and so sweet. And you can feel that muskiness. It's not quite Narciso Rodriguez tier musk. That's like a bomb, kind of. They like to throw these crazy musks in there, but I'd give this one a 6 out of 10 because out of the other two kind of feminine ones, I think they're a bit more focused. But yeah, this is still beautiful. I haven't smelled anything that I really hate at the moment. On to the next one. Next up, we have L'Orpheline, which I believe means like orphan girl. Now, I don't know a lot about this scent, but L'Orpheline is the reason that inspired me to film this. I've actually had this sample set for ages, for a really long time. But the reason I didn't really bother with it is because it's these down vials. It's so annoying. I was watching one of my favorite YouTube content creators, Rafi, and he had this tremendous video about underrated scents, and he featured this one. So all I know is what he said in the video, which is it's incensey, it's musky, it's underrated, and he likes to wear it in the heat. That's about it. And then I googled the name, and it just said that it's a feminine noun for an orphan. Let's give this one a go. I'm actually really excited about this one because I really do trust Rafi's tastes. His taste is immaculate and our tastes are quite similar, so I think I will love this. Oop, I might have gone a bit too crazy there. It's dripping everywhere, but anyway. L'Orpheline, let's give it a go. Oh wow, this smells like a Chanel. Off the bat, this is like a Chanel to me. Aldehydes, like to the face aldehydes. Wow. I love this, and wow. There's an incense right in the base. I'm not a huge incense head. It's not really my favorite note. I don't dislike incense, but it's not in like my top 5 notes even. The cleanest incense. It's like the incense is not really burning because the incense is like in this mysterious aldehydic musk. Wow, I see why he wears this in the high heat because it's super refreshing. I understand why this is a feminine kind of advertised fragrance, at least from the name. But I would totally wear this. Absolutely will wear this. Yeah, this is amazing. The incense is there, but it's presented to you in this cloud. It's like the incense is burning on a cloud of these bright sunshine. Yeah, I adore this. This is love at first sniff. This is off the bat 10 out of 10. I would buy this if I was in the shop right now. I would probably buy it from a discount, let's be honest, but I haven't even put this on skin. I need this in my life. I will definitely be putting this on skin at the end of the video. Wow, L'Orpheline, amazing. I know it's ridiculous to say that this is better than Ambre Sultan, but to me, this is much more impressive. It's very basic. It reminds me of Silver Musk by Nasomatto, but Silver Musk is just very straightforward, or at least comes across as very straightforward. This is also very straightforward, but there's something very elegant about this. Something really addictive about it, intriguing about it. It's that incense, and there is a bit of patchouli, I think, that I'm getting. This is like Coromandel had a shower. You know what I'm saying? And lit some incense. Coromandel's having a bubble bath and lit some incense in the sun. You know what I mean? Wow. I can't believe this was in literally my wardrobe collecting dust for the best part of 5 months, 6 months. And I'm just smelling this now. All of these are amazing, but this is crazy good. Yep, this is a straight 10 from the test strip. If I was in the shop, money was no problem, I would be going home with this one. That's L'Orpheline. On to the next one. Next up, we have Feminite de bois is wood. Feminine wood. Female of the wood. Whoa, that's definitely not the correct translation, but feminine wood. Okay, so another feminine release. Okay, I have to say, I didn't know all these would be feminine. A bit annoying because I'm not into feminine leaning scents that much, but let's give it a go. I think this is a popular one. I don't know anything about it whatsoever. I've never smelt it before. I've never really looked into it, but I think I've heard, like after Serge and Ambre Sultan, this one gets mentioned quite a lot. So let's give it a go. The juice is quite purpley, grey, unusual. Don't have high hopes for this. Feminine de bois. Let's see what this sort of feminine wood is all about. Ooh, okay. Off the bat, this smells like Plum Japonais by Tom Ford, which I really like and wish I got a bottle, but I was too broke back then. Still am broke now. It's plummy. It's got sandalwood. It smells like egoist, which I love. Wow. There's a woody sandalwood, a sweet wood, a sweet plummy wood. It's definitely more feminine than Plum Japonais. I want to put this on with compare it A to B with Plum Japonais to see if my brain is playing tricks on me, but this smells like a feminine version of Chanel Egoist, one of my favorite scents of all times. It's like almost exactly the same sandalwood as that sweet sandalwood. There's like a tobacco-y thing, similar to the one in Egoist as well. But there's a very obvious fruitiness, plum, I think. It reminds me of Plum Japonais and Egoist had a baby, and I love both, so this is feminine, but I would wear this because I don't care, really. This is that good. Yeah, this is mind-blowing. This is a 10 as well. I'd probably buy a small bottle of this or something if I was in the shop and money was no issue. That's how amazing this is. Wow, I definitely need to get this one on skin just to see how it plays off, if maybe the woods and tobacco become more dominant on my skin or if it just goes full feminine mode. This smells ridiculously good. Wow. So it's plummy, it's sweet wood, cinnamony sandalwood. It smells supernatural. It still has a floral base. It's definitely a DNA that I'm spotting here. It's not an Ambre Sultan, and not an L'Orpheline. There's something in here that's quite sharp and zesty and like vibrant. Is it aldehydes in all of them? Is it this kind of floral base that they use in their DNA? But there's a lot of overlap. Like this is quite similar to that Santal Majuscule, but way more interesting. It's like they took that as the basis and then they just built on it and added this plum and added this kind of smoky, ashy, kind of tobacco-y thing. Yeah, this is amazing. Let's go for 9.5 out of 10 because I'm not 100% sure how it will wear on my skin, whether it will go full feminine, whether it will stay pretty unisex, but super into this one. 9.5 out of 10. Last but not least, I think this is one of the darkest ones of them all. La Religieuse. The religion. Or, I don't know. Something to do with religion, eh? Incense, anyone? It's quite dark, though. Maybe this will be like a interlude kind of vibe. Let's see. I'm just glad I don't have to do this again. Oh, that was a close call. La Religieuse. See what this one's all about. Religious. The religious smell like this. Wow, let me just gather my thoughts on this one. There's a lot to unpack here. It's like a skanky jasmine. The other ones smell like a bouquet of flowers. This smells more like... It's the same flower as the orange blossom one. It smells just more jasmine-y, a bit more skanky, like something more natural, more almost animalic. You know how jasmine can go a bit animalic? That's what I'm getting here. Yeah, this reminds me of On a Woman by Amouage. Something old school about it. I don't know what it is. I can't really put my finger on it. It's just quite musky as well. So yeah, it's like a musky, animalic jasmine. I swear a lot of these are quite feminine. I feel a bit shortchanged. They could have put Cherokee in there. Come on, guys. But they're all absolutely amazing. Yeah, this one is quite similar to the Orange Blossom one, but it's not orangey at all. I think Orange Blossom and Jasmine can be quite similar. So I think what I was smelling there was definitely Orange Blossom because this is more jasmine-y. It's more indolic, more animalic. And way more musky rather than fresh. There's types of freshness, I feel. Muskiness can give off a freshness, but it's like a thick freshness. You know, when you smell it, it's like, it's quite heavy. It's more dense. It's fresh, but more dense, whilst the freshness in Fleur d'Orange is more airy. Probably has less musks or no musks. There's very similar DNA in the whole situation. They're very vibrant. They're quite mature and old school. They're not harsh whatsoever. They're so massively blended. Christopher Sheldrake's done a phenomenal job. This smells similar. There's something going on that's quite similar. I don't know whether it's a floral heart in all of them that they use, whether it's an aldehydic floral thing that they use. Some kind of jasmine, a bit indolic. I'm not really getting any incense. If there is any, it's not showing its face yet. Remember, I've just put this on. There's basically no editing here. Sweet, it's jasmine-y. Bit more unisex than the others. Let's revisit L'Orpheline. I gave this one a 10. Oh yeah, the incense has come alive. The aldehydes have calmed down because they're very intense, like a thunderbolt to the brain. But this is beautiful incense. I love this kind of incense. It reminds me of Zefiro by Serge, but this is much better. That one has a wine kind of accord. Not really big on wine. I don't really drink it or cook with it or anything. This is beautiful. I could signature scent this, to be honest. Still a bit of sweetness, still a bit of muskiness, and the incense has come to play. This is, I gave it a 10. This is a 15 out of 10. I'm putting this on. I'm getting a full bottle. Like, decision has been made. I'll be honest, as I was smelling all the other ones, my mind was just fixated on, I just couldn't wait to come back to this one. Yeah, L'Orpheline is just, it's so simple, yet it's got a lot going on, because for it to smell like this, it feels like one wave of smell. And yes, I'm picking out on all of these things, but really the description, I think if you go and try to look at the notes for this one, this is the only one I looked at the notes for, because I was watching that Raffi video. It just has 2 notes, and it's musk and incense. And I think that's all you need to know. It's like a majestic incense. It's so clean, so incensey. It's like you're on the way to heaven. This is what you'd smell as you're making your way up there in the clouds. Wow, I adore this one. This was a 10 out of 10 on the first sniff. Now on the second sniff, 15 out of 10. Yep, we're breaking the rules. So now we've smelt the Serge Lutens Noir Collection Discovery Set. Nothing here smells bad, except maybe that purple beast, La Fille de Berlin. It's gone a bit crazy for me, I can't lie. I'm intrigued as to what it will be like on skin. I'm intrigued if it will be a lot better. But L'Orpheline, I'm going to get this. There's no doubt about it. Ambre Sultan performed and behaved exactly like my first few wears of it. That greenness is the only thing preventing me from just truly falling in love with it. It just takes me back to that bag of bay leaf. Feminite de Bois is definitely up there. Those are the top 3 by far. Ambre Sultan, L'Orpheline, and Feminite de Bois. But I'm definitely going to be putting L'Orpheline on skin, and I'll be doing a test of Feminite de Bois versus Plum Japonais to see if they're quite similar. L'Orpheline, please be good on skin. Please be as good on skin, because I need a scent like this. I don't know if this is how you meant to do it, but I've just drawn a big fat juicy circle. And might be a bit too much. Oh, it's very full of alcohol. I think I've definitely done too much there. But anyway, next up, let's put on Feminite de Bois on the other hand. Try and do a little bit less this time, because I went a bit crazy. That's surely enough. And let's spray some Plum Japonais as well. Got my 5 ml Plum Japonais. Let's give that a go as well so we can compare it. This is a spray. Oh, mist spraying. Okay, so in the air around me is this wonderful plum, but let's try and ignore that and smell my favorite from the set, L'Orpheline. Yeah, it's perfect. It smells exactly like it did on paper. Actually, the aldehydes have died a lot quicker, a lot more intense on paper, which I assume will mean they'll be a lot more intense when sprayed on clothes as well. But the incense has come to play off the bat. And those beautiful, clean, kind of silver white musks. I actually really have issues with white musk on my skin. It turns really pissy, but this is so clean. It's like silver musk by Nasomatto, but more natural. That one just plays off of the metallic vibe. But yeah, this L'Orpheline, this one's amazing on skin. I'm getting more patchouli and more of the incense and less of the aldehydes. I think this one for me is definitely on the buy list. I can't see this offending anyone. It's very intriguing, it's very clean, very incensey, it's very subtle, it's not in your face. I can see myself just drowning like 6-7 sprays of this in the middle of the heat and just feeling like an angel. The incense gives it a bit of a masculine touch. That keeps it perfectly unisex in my opinion, so we'll definitely be going for this one. Now, Feminite de Bois versus Plum Japonais. Let's see how they've kind of settled. So Feminite de Bois has a very, very woody, it's kind of a rosewood, sandalwood kind of vibe, but it's quite sweet. The sweetness level is similar to in Plum Japonais, but Plum Japonais has this kind of ashy, kind of smoky thing going. It's like a smoky, tobacco-y thing going on. I'd say the Plum Japonais is considerably stronger. I do wonder whether the splash versus spray has affected that, or it's just Tom Ford using more stronger kind of synthetics. Yeah, they're quite similar actually, but it's in that base. The fruit is quite similar. The plum, both absolutely beautiful. It's just the small smokiness, more tobacco-y, smoky ashiness kind of vibe. It's like you're smoking a plum-flavored shisha in Plum Japonais, whilst in Feminite du Bois, it's more woody. It's more feminine. Definitely will play around with this. Definitely will wear it a few times. Might try and layer it with some kind of woody thing. Maybe even an oud oil if I can get my hands on one. That I think will do the trick. But I wouldn't be averse to getting a small bottle of that. So overall, what was my experience with Serge Lutens Discovery set? It was wonderful. Out of all the 7, there is 6 that I found amazing. One that I'm just not that keen on. Top 3 definitely in order: L'Orpheline, then Ambre Sultan, then Feminite du Bois. I wouldn't mind having bottles of those. L'Orpheline is definitely joining my collection because it's an amazing incense scent. It's so clean, so majestic, so elegant. I think it would be a perfect summer incense. So thank you very much for watching. I will be revisiting Serge Lutens and testing more things out, giving Ambre Sultan a few more goes to see if I can get over my bay leaf issues, playing around with Feminite du Bois to see if I can get it to be a bit more masculine for me. Thank you very much. See you next time.